These stocks have performed incredibly well over the last 10 years. And the one thing that all of these stocks have in common is that all of these companies have an excellent management team. As you can imagine, for stocks and pretty much any area of life, the management team of a particular company is what can make or break the performance of a particular stock. So in this video, I want to share with you how it is that you can perform good analysis on the management team of a particular company so that you can use this information to make some good stock investment decisions. So step number one that I recommend that you take in order to analyze the company's management team is to get to know who the top management is and get to know them as they really are in terms of their personalities, their vision, and what they're trying to achieve as they're working in that particular company. You really want to get to know them as the people they really are. And the best way that I have found to do that is to look at interviews of them. Here, what you're looking for are the values that they have. And do those values and their personalities, do they match with what's required to succeed in that particular industry? So for example, let's say that you're analyzing a stock in the financial industry. What you really want to look for is a founder that's enthusiastic, first of all, about the financial industry, but also somebody that has good sales skills, because in the financial industry, this is absolutely key to be able to get deals done. And at the same time, somebody that's very sharp, good with numbers, and that has good integrity, that's going to ensure that the company makes the right decisions to succeed and get the stock price to increase. On the other hand, if you're analyzing a particular company in the technology industry, you generally want that person to be bold, innovative, detail-oriented, etc. Besides listening to interviews of the top management of that particular company, the other thing that I have found to be really powerful is to read the letters that they write to shareholders. This is often found in the company's annual report, but you can also Google this information. A great example of this are the Jeff Bezos letters to shareholders, in which he shares basically in real time his thoughts on the company, the industry, and what he's doing to ensure that the company is heading in the right direction. Just one thing to keep in mind is that in some industries, some CEOs and top management are not going to share a lot of insights and strategies because they fear that the competition is going to use this information so that they can catch up to them. So just be aware of that and keep that in mind. Now, the next step that I like to take when I'm analyzing the management team of a company is to look on Glassdoor. This website is great because it allows people and employees to write reviews of the top management. So you will see what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what the employees like about the company culture, what they don't like, the improvements or the things that are getting worse about that particular company. And this is very valuable information that you can use in your analysis to know whether or not a particular company is likely to continue to succeed or fail in the future. You can also get this information for various other forums. Maybe you can use Reddit, maybe you can just go online and see if the employees are posting on any particular sites. But the important thing to note here is what the employees are saying and what the management is saying about the direction of the company. One thing to keep in mind as you're doing your analysis is the type of company that you're analyzing. So for example, if you're analyzing a mature company, the employees might say that the management is too slow to move or that it's too bureaucratic. And this totally makes sense because of the stage that the company is at. But if you see these same words used in a company that's a startup and growing fast and not very established, this is where you have to be careful, because it doesn't make sense that the company is acting like a mature company when it's just getting off the ground and looking to get traction versus a company that's already established and likely to have those patterns in place. The last thing that I like to analyze about the company's management of a particular stock is what is their level of experience in that industry? How good are they date, are knowing what's going on in the industry, how long have they been working in that particular industry, what are their skills, what's their background. This information is very important to know because it's going to impact the type of decisions that they make for the company. So for example, if somebody comes from like a very heavy engineering background, they are likely to focus a lot on what's going on the product of that particular company. Whereas if somebody's background is in sales, you will see that oftentimes what they're really going to focus on is sales and marketing and growing the top line of that particular company. So just something important for you to keep in mind. The next thing to analyze is the compensation of the management team, as well as how long they're likely to remain part of that particular company. The first part is pretty self-explanatory, but let me break it down for you. What you're looking for is a management team that is getting compensated fairly and has a degree of ownership in that particular company. And this is really important because it means that they're gonna take full advantage of that ownership and that they're likely to act in the best interest of the shareholders. And the last thing, of course, is do they have any bonuses that are tied to their pay? If they do have bonuses, what you're looking for is what are those bonuses based on, because those are the things that the management team is going to optimize for. So whether it is net income growth or revenue growth or free cash flow, you want to know what the compensation is based off, because that's the metric that is going to be on their minds when they make the decisions. Now to the second part, let's assume that the company that you're analyzing has a great management team. The last thing that you want to happen is that that management team has performed extremely well, but then all of a sudden when you invest, they leave the company soon after. So make sure to do your research to try to find out how long that particular management, CEO, etc. is likely to stay within the company, so that way you don't have to worry about that happening to you. The last step that is really important to analyze is the performance financially of that management team. Here, what it's helpful is that you look at when the management team was integrated into the company and that you look at how the company has performed financially since that management team took over. For example, have they been growing their revenues? Is the net income of the company higher? Are they taking risk, meaning they're taking a lot of debt for the company and they're making risky investments? These are questions that are very important to know, and a lot of the times the financial numbers are going to tell you the answer. So that's it. Now you know how to analyze the management team of a company like an absolute pro. So be sure to use this newfound knowledge so that you can take your stock investment game to the next level, and I'll see you in the next one.